Hello students. Today we will be starting the first chapter in Statistics for Economics. So in this chapter we have two things to be discussed. The first is what is economics and what does the study of economics deals with. And the second part is the importance of statistics in economics. So in this session we'll discuss about we will discuss about what is economics and what is the study of economics deals with. Now let us first see from where was the term economics derived. So the term economics was derived from two Greek words, oikos, which means household, and nomos, which means to manage. That is, study of economics deals with the management of household. Now why do we say the management of household? Because in an economy, say it is for a particular country or the world economy, households are considered to be the individual units of the economy. So, in a broad sense, economics is the management of household. Now, over the years, various economists has defined the term economics in different ways. Right? So let us see how it has been defined by the economist. So in the initial years, the classical economists like Adam Smith and others have related the study of economics with the wealth, that is the study of wealth. So according to the classical economists like Professor Adam Smith, who is also considered as the father of economics, has defined economics as a science which studies about the production, distribution and consumption of wealth. So everything they say that whatever we study in economics leads to the wealth concept. Then came the welfare concept. So the neoclassical economists related the study of economics with the welfare concept. So according to the neoclassical economists like Professor Alfred Marshall, they shifted the emphasis from wealth to welfare, and he, in his book, The Principle of Economics, defined economics as the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. So, according to Professor Alfred Marshall, the study of economics deals with the study of mankind in their ordinary business of life. So, in our everyday activities that we are doing, he related that with economics. Then came the modern economist. They said that no, economics is not only about wealth and welfare, it is about the problem of choice. So, Professor Lionel Robbins defined economics as the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. So, the modern economics suggested that the study of economics actually helps us in making choices. And why do we need to make a choice? Because, according to the modern economist, there is a scarcity of resources and the human wants are unlimited. So, here comes the problem of choice making. And economics, the study of economics, helps us in dealing with the problem of choice making. Now, what do we mean by scarcity of resources? So, according to economics, there are four resources, or four factors of production. We term them as the factors of production. They are land, labor, capital, and organization. Now, these are the four factors of production which we use and we get our final output. Now, what is land? All those gifts of nature, say it be the agricultural land, the forest, mineral, etc., are all considered as a land. Now, coming to labor. Labor is refers to all mental and physical works done for the purpose of reward. So, we human beings provide labor, and in return, we get the salaries and wages, right? The next is the capital. It refers to all those man-made goods used in the production process. It is called produced mean of production, like the tools, machines, buildings that are used for production is the capital. And last is the organization. It is the skill that is required to bring together various factors such as land, labor, and capital and to coordinate them. So, an organizer or an entrepreneur will actually they will bring together all the other factors of production, that is land, labor, and capital, in producing the final output. So these are the four resources or the four factors of production. That is the factors which are used for the production of the final output. Okay. Now let's understand why there is a scarcity of these factors of production or the scarcity of resources. The main factor for this scarcity is that the human wants are unlimited. It is the nature of the human beings that they are never satisfied with anything. We always have unlimited wants. And these resources used in the production of goods that satisfy our wants are limited and also have alternative uses. Very important. Why? Because see, the land that we have, that is limited. Now how we are going to use that land, there will be various ways in which we can put use of a particular piece of land. So there comes the problem of choice making. Which way should I use it so that my satisfaction is maximized, right? Then, therefore, the character of alternative uses of the resources gives rise to the problem of choice between different uses. Now, what do I mean with it? See, suppose today I have a particular pocket money I get, say it be 500 rupees. Now, my nature makes me that I'm never satisfied with that 500 rupees, or I have various alternative ways in which I can use that 500 rupees. I can purchase books, I can purchase study books, I can purchase story books, I can buy some food or clothes. There are various numerous ways in which I can spend that 500 rupees. So I am never satisfied with that 500 rupees. Now, what choice making do I need to do here? I have to prioritize my wants. So, which are the things that I need now so that my wants are satisfied, right? So for that reason the problem of choice making comes. As an individual consumer, I have to decide which are the things that are priority for me, and I have to spend that 500 rupees on. Maybe for the next month I can spend it for the rest of the things. So I have to make my priority. Similarly, suppose a farmer is having a particular piece of land. Again, he can grow, say, food crops or non-food crops. He has the choice of growing among food crops. Also, he has the choice of growing so many different kinds of crops. So, which crop should he grow in that piece of land? Because that piece of land is fixed for the farmer. Now, he has different options in which alternative ways in which he can use that land. Now, which way should he use so that his profit is maximized, or he gets the most number of the growth of the crops are maximized? So depending on different factors, he has to prioritize his want, and accordingly he has to choose the crop that he can grow in that piece of land. So there comes the problem of scarcity. That is, the resources that we have, that is land, labor, capital, and organization or entrepreneurship, these resources are limited, they are not unlimited, but our wants are unlimited. As you can see in the picture, we in one side we have the land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, whereas on the other side we have so many alternative uses in which we can use these four factors of production. So, the factors of production or the resources that we have are limited. However, human wants are unlimited, and these resources can be put into alternative uses. So, there comes the problem of scarcity and the problem of choice. Now, let's see what are the different economic activities that individuals do. Right? Now, what is economic activity? So, economic activities are ones that are undertaken for monetary gain. We need to understand this. There are two kinds of activities. One is economic and the other one is non-economic activities. So, economic activities are the ones where there are some monetary gain. Say, for example, I go to the market to purchase some vegetables. I buy the vegetables, I come home and I cook the food using the vegetables. Now, the vegetables that I'm buying from the market, I'm paying for them. So, there is an economic activity that is happening here. But suppose I grow the same vegetables in my garden and use those vegetables for the cooking. That will be a non-economic activity because there is no monetary gain that is happening over there. There is no monetary exchange that is happening over there. So, an economic activity is the one where there is a monetary gain at the end of the activity, right? Now, these economic activities can be of different forms. So, first one that we will study in economics is consumption. And this is one of the very important economic activity because every individual is doing consumption in some form or the other, right? So, what is consumption? The process of using various goods and services for the satisfaction of human wants is known as consumption. Now, see the problem of choice that happens in consumption. As a consumer, so I'm a consumer and you are also a consumer. So everyone who is there is a consumer here. Now, the problem of choice that a consumer faces is the consumer has a lot of options of things which he can consume with a limited budget. So a consumer will be having a limited budget and he has to decide which are the things he wants to consume using that budget. So he has to maximize his satisfaction using the budget that the consumer has in his hand. Right? So the budget is limited. Using that budget, the consumer has to make the choice of the things that he wants to consume. Therefore, here we study how a consumer decides to buy goods and services at a given level of income and at a given price level, right? So this is what we study in consumer behavior in the way how the consumer is buying different goods and services with the amount of income, the amount of money that he has in his hand. Next come production. It is another important activity, economic activity that is performed. The creation or addition of goods and services to satisfy human wants are known as production. So, what do we need to study here? We need to study how a producer makes the choice of production when he knows the cost and prices of different goods and services. So, in production, the producer needs to decide upon which goods and services they should be producing so that the inputs that they are using for the production are utilized and they get the maximum output, right? Like I said, in the case of the farmer, depending on the land, he will decide upon which crop has to be grown so that he can maximize his satisfaction, so that the profit he receives by producing that crop is maximized. So a farmer is also a producer. He's producing crops, right? So there in production, the problem of choice comes that the producer has to decide upon which product they should produce utilizing the raw materials so that his output is maximized, right? Next comes the concept of distribution. Now, what is distribution? So, sharing of anything is known as distribution. In economics, when we study distribution, it is the sharing of national income. Now, suppose we decide today that we will be cooking some food at home, right? And we will decide upon the distribution of the food among the efforts, among the family members, depending upon the efforts put in by each of the family members. So, what here will happen? A final product will be produced. Now, in which way that product will be distributed among the family members? Among the way how they have put in their effort in producing the final output. Say one member will go to the market to buy the raw materials. Someone will actually cut the vegetables. Someone will cook the food. Someone will wash the vessels, right? So everybody will put in some effort and accordingly that food will get distributed among the family members. Similar is the case of distribution in case of a economy. Now what happens in economics? Here by distribution we mean the distribution of national income. So how do we distribute this national income? We will see the contribution of the factors of production, that is land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship, and the national income will get distributed among all the factors of production in terms of some return. So, for land, the return will be rent. For labor, the return that they will be getting is wages. For capital, we get interest, and for organizations or entrepreneurship, we get profit. So, in this four kinds of returns will be distributed among the four factors of production depending upon whatever was their contribution to the national income. So, in distribution, we will learn how the national income gets distributed among the four factors of production. There's one more activity of exchange which refers to the act of people exchanging goods and services among themselves. Here we study about the price, value, money, finance, trade, and such other concepts. Right? So these are the things that we actually economics, the study of economics deals with, and it helps us in understanding. So, in this session, we have studied about how the term economics was derived. What are the different ways economist has defined the term economics? The factors of production that are there, the different kinds of economic activities that are being done, and the problem of scarcity and the problem of choice. Thank you. In the next session, we will study about the role of statistics in economics.